welcome to Watch Symposium. I'm Austin. Am I in the Rolex bath? I don't think so. I think this is the Richard Mille bath. All right, so what watch did I take here? It's kind of a fail. I'm almost embarrassed. I chickened out. I have the G-Shock, the blacked out G-Shock. And why? Why did I chicken out? Do I think the Explorer 2 couldn't take it? Nah, probably could, but here's the thing. I thought, what if something happened? It would ruin the trip, right? But the other side of that is, would something have happened? Probably not. And what is a total shame and fail is the fact that this is Christmas Eve and there's only one Christmas Eve 2020 at an onsen and a pool with your daughters, and I'm not making a memory with the Explorer 2. So that's unfortunate. But in a parallel universe, there's a water breach, and this Christmas Eve goes down in infamy as the time that my watch suffered water damage, and so I guess I chose to be safe about it. But I'm looking down at my wrist, and to make it even worse, I think there's a guy swimming around with a Rolex. Anyway, I'll try to get some footage of it if I can. I probably won't be able to, but anyway, what are we talking about today? We're talking about the premium on Steel Professional model Rolexes. Who gets the lion's share of that premium? Alright, so day before yesterday, Jason, and you might remember Jason from his Yachtmaster and his newly acquired Bulgari. He was wearing the Bulgari. But we went day before yesterday to Ueno. Footage on the way of that. But we stopped by a watch shop, and I was looking at the BLNR, and they were selling it for, in USD, $17,000. And here in Japan, if you were to find one at an AD, it would be about $10,000. Now, when you go to one of these gray market dealers or pre-owned dealers and you see it for, 7,000 USD above retail, you think, wow, they bought it for a slate premium. Somebody buys it, that's like $7,000 in their cash register. But it really doesn't work like that. They don't get the lion's share of the premium. Who does? Well, I asked how much they buy these watches for, and they buy them from flippers, and I'm talking about the BLNR GMT Master 2 for $16,000. All right, $16,000. So the flipper pays $10,000. He heads to one of these shops and makes $6,000 in hand, tax free, and then they tack on $1,000. All right. And in other shops, you see the BLNR selling for $18,000 or $18,000 plus, and they might be paying the flippers a little more, or they might be putting on some of their own premium, or a little of both. So the flippers are making the money here for sure. And there was another interesting thing that I found out. All right, as you know, there are new Rolex cards, and you don't have your name on the new cards. And you used to have your name on the cards, and I think in some countries you would write your name on your own card, or the staff would, and you would walk out with the card. But the way it worked in Japan, before they switched over to the new cards, was that you would write what you wanted on the card, whether it was a bunch of X's. I don't know if you could leave it blank, but you would write what you wanted on the card, and then you would leave the store with your watch, and then a month later your card would come and it would be printed on the card, like via a computer. So according to this guy in Ueno, flippers used to have to sit on their watches for about a month. They would wait with their watch for a month. The second they got that card, they would then head to one of these shops and flip it. Now, the new system makes it just a little bit more easier for them. Thanks, Rolex. But now here in Japan, you walk out with your card the same day. So, theoretically, you can buy a BLNR and flip it, cash in hand, within an hour, box and papers. So it's made the system that much more beneficial to the flippers. Now the question is, what can be done? This system isn't working here in Japan. Here in Japan, there are no lists. Again, if you're unaware of the situation here, they tell you they just put them out when they get them. I'm talking about these, hot professional steel Rolexes. And essentially they're telling you, you just have to get lucky. And you say, well, I just gotta stop by the right time, and they kind of suck air through their teeth because they know they're gonna be sending you on a wild goose chase and they can't quite commit to making you do that, but essentially, yeah, that's what they tell you. Now, what should be done? I think Paul Thorpe nails it. You gotta be able to put your name on a list and pay for the watch. And that's gonna really mess up flippers, okay? Because they don't have the capital to do that. And they need to check IDs, state-issued IDs, and write your name down and then have a database. And you can, only put your name down for one watch at a time. And if you do it in, multiple stores, it would be flagged, and you can only do it, again, one store, one model, and you pay, and it might take 6 months, it might take a year, it might take 2 years, but you wait, and I'd be cool with waiting. I think a lot of enthusiasts would. The flippers, not so much, okay? And the watch comes in, and you pick it up. They check the ID, make sure that, it's the same person picking it up that put the name on the list, and, unless you have a ton of state-issued fake IDs, then you wouldn't be able to put yourself on multiple lists. And look, could you still flip watches, and could flippers still do it? Yeah, not a big deal. It just would slow them down a bit. They're not slowed down, they're not hobbled at all. And, again, if they've got connections, then, they could flip a couple watches a day or a week. And that's really gonna make a big dent in the watches that the enthusiasts are able to get. So that's what Rolex should do. That's what Rolex Japan should do. Would it solve the problem? Well, I don't know if it would solve the problem completely, not with flippers, but it would make it possible for somebody who really wants a particular model to get it. The question is, does Rolex care? Does Rolex Japan care? Well, it appears like they don't, because this could be implemented, some version of this, to make it work. Clearly, whatever's happening now just isn't working, and it seems like they just don't care. That's aggravating. Day before yesterday, I went to 2 ADs. Let me tell you, it's such a deflating experience. That's really the Rolex experience here in Japan. All right, so let me know what you think. Take care. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.